Silent Night, Deadly Night 5, The Toy Maker. Just like the last film, it has nothing to do with the first three, but at least this one's trying some more, even though it's made by the same people. And directed by Martin Kittroser, who's done everything from Friday the 13th 3 and 5 to Dumb and Dumber to being the main script supervisor for Tarantino. Raggedy Ann seems upset about that. The film begins with Derek hearing something at the door. Oh, it's a package from Amazon. His mom would answer, but she's a little busy in her stocking stuffed. So Derek ignores the label and opens his presents before Christmas. His dad really hates that.
God damn it, Derek! How many times do I have to tell you not to open the front door by yourself?
Well, I guess the present's already half open, might as well finish it. Turns out to be a Pokeball. That turns into a Santa ball. That turns into a Phantasm ball. But instead of drilling his head, he just lands on a conveniently placed fire poker. One super duper over the top title card. 2 weeks later, the mom, Sarah, and Derek are still trying to deal with the loss of dad. Then Kim from the last movie shows up. And I guess she adopted Lonnie Conan. Don't worry, it makes no sense, especially later. They see an ad for Santa's balls and Derek gets scared, and someone's watching them. So Sarah takes Derek to the toy store. What's it called? Well, it's called that because it's owned by Joe Petto, played by Hollywood legend Mickey Rooney, who ironically hated the first film and was part of the big protest against it. Apparently, these last two films were always meant to be in the SNSD series, so I don't know, Mickey Rooney just needed money. He shows off some toys, and he also has a son named Pino, who seems a little too ambitious about this weird bug toy. So when Sarah and Derek leave, he starts yelling at Pino about being a shit son, awkwardly in front of the stalker guy who kind of looks like Kyle Reese. And when he goes to pay for the toys, he accidentally drops out a newspaper clipping about Dad from earlier. Joe takes the paper, and it turns out the guy has a whole hotel room full of toys, which seems to be how he pays rent. It seems to be fun, but man, choking hazard. Then the guy, for whatever reason, goes to break into Joe's and he finds a photo dated to 1970, but Pino looks the same. Then we go to the mall and we see Clint Howard, even though he pretty definitively died last time. Also, the character's name is Ricky. In both these films, which almost connects to the first film, but there's no way he's the same Ricky, and it makes even less sense if he's still the same Ricky from the last episode. So maybe in this timeline, Fema had a better relation with her daughter and not got involved with Kim. And the timeline diverged when Clint Howard got some cheese on his burger and he found some lotto tickets to get out of poverty. Needless to say, this is his only scene, and this entire scene could have been easily cut, and there's no real reason why he's Clint Howard other than he just happened to be there. As Derek has a Christmas story moment with a different Santa, Pino breaks into their house and ogles a photo of Sarah. Apparently, even weirder, they kept the Santa toy that killed the dad. They get home, so it's now Sarah's turn to go yell at Joe. And he says that Pino only went there because it just happened to be their former home and they had to move into the toy store because damn housing market. Then there's some wholesome father-son fighting. Kim comes to visit again, but there's another present porch. So been in it, but then Conan finds it and finds a sick pair of rollerblades. These suckers are rocket-powered. And it's also a lot harder to rollerblade than it looks. So he's in the hospital. Then almost Dax Shepard arrives to directly give Derek a present, but the babysitter shuts that down. As Sarah's in a parking garage, and the guy somehow got there, and starts chasing her. Then after that, they start violently making out. Well, then why did she run away?
Why did you run from me?
Oh, God, I don't know.
That's fucking stupid. Turns out the guy's name is Noah, and he's actually Derek's real father.
I needed security for that, and you couldn't give it to me, and Tom could.
This is getting almost too real. Meanwhile, the babysitter puts Derek to sleep in Sarah's bed, so the babysitter can hook up in Derek's bed for some reason. And we cut back and forth between them and Sarah and Noah fucking in a car, kind of like a What Not to Do video. Then after 2 movies of not having it, we finally have someone in a Santa Claus costume trying to start something. Geppetto's watching the action and empties his sack. And then the toys start getting frisky and cheeky. Derek's alerted, so Geppetto bags him. Then a Sherman tank blasts its load into the babysitter's chest as her boyfriend gets taken out by a battle bot. Then back with the others after a quick 8-hour sex. Turns out Noah's in town because he's also trying to investigate Geppetto because apparently he started sending out toys that attack people as revenge because his pregnant wife died in a car accident, and if he can't have a family, no one can. The two get back home, and somehow the babysitter's still alive with a hole in her chest. Hey Kim, you just appeared, so you deal with her, and we will go and actually finish the movie. Sarah inspects the house above the toy store and finds a plush pillow of a severed head. Then Noah goes down to the basement and gets attacked by a plane, and he gets soap in the eyes from a super soaker. Sarah hears the commotion and arms herself with a knife covered in strawberry jam. Looking at all the weird crap he keeps around in his basement, and it turns out Geppetto is dead. He was killed by his clone. Actually, it's weirder because it's a robot who turns out to be Pino, who's a giant cyborg doll thing.
It's very simple. All you need is a little of that, and a little of that, and a little of that.
And what, he got brought to life with a fucking blue fairy chip?
My father could make anything. Well, almost anything.
Man, the Barbie movie's really weird. What are you doing?
You can be my mommy.
I can be your son now. I can. I love you, Mommy. I love you. I love.
How do we go from a movie about a kid who's mentally disturbed and abused into becoming a killer dressed like Santa Claus to a movie about a sexually frustrated Ken doll? This bullshit ends when Sarah stabs him in the head with a screwdriver. Derek takes him for a ride as Noah finally does something and chops his arm off with an axe. Then Sarah does it better by chopping him in half with an axe. And they live happily ever. He's still alive, Terminator! Stomping him in the head, and we live happily ever after. But it turns out he has a backup body, where he becomes a stand-up comic or something.
Hello, I'm Zed, prototype of the ZX line and the future of stand-up comedy. We appreciate your patronage and look forward to servicing you. Again in the near future.
Final body count? 5. This movie is super bizarre. I like that it's actually related somewhat to Christmas, unlike the last film. The special effects are really good. I like the whole toy aspect. Pretty underutilized genre, to be honest. But even from Ricky Rooney, there's some questionable acting choices. Noah just did not need to be here. And it's frustratingly weird that he knows about Geppetto's killer toys, but he keeps buying them and giving them away to people, including his son he wants to connect with. And the film is called The Toy Maker, so he's a really bad red herring. Because I guess demonic toys, killer toys, just toys was already taken. The characters returning from the last film are completely pointless and are just here because they happen to have the actors still. You would not miss a damn thing if it was Kim, but a different actress. They technically set it up with the photo, but the whole ending with Pino being a doll is just so out of left field. 5.5, I liked it a little better than the last film, but still not a great film. But let me know in the comments below your thoughts and opinions. Hitting the like button and subscribing really helps, as well as hitting hype on mobile, apparently.